Today, Google is making its search engine entirely AI. You will no longer have the experience of just typing in a query and getting a list of blue links to relevant sites. Give me 60 seconds because this one is diabolical. Here is what just changed. Two things, and both of them change how every person on the internet finds information. Number one, the Google results page is no longer a list of websites. It is now an AI-built interface. Google said it themselves. Search will create custom dashboards, trackers, and mini apps right inside the search page. The answers will stay on Google and you don't have to click out to a website anymore. Number two, Google just launched search agents. AI that actually monitors the internet for you 24 hours a day. You do not search anymore. The AI decides what you should see and sends it to you. The reader stops looking and the AI starts choosing. Now here is the part nobody is saying out loud. For 25 years, you have searched the same way. You typed a question and you got a list of sources. You decided which one to trust. You compared, you clicked, and you formed your own opinion. That skill is what Google trained you in. Google just deleted that ranking system. Now one AI gives you one answer. You do not see the sources. You do not compare. You don't even need to verify. You read what is given to you. The most powerful research tools humans built in the last 25 years just became a closed loop. Here's the problem that I have is AI gets things wrong confidently, often, and you will repeat answers that may not be true. Here is what you can do right now. Stop relying on Google as your primary source of attention and information. Build something that you can control. An email list, a Substack, a podcast feed, a paid community. Move 10% of your effort there this week. Then 20, then 50. This is insane. 25 years of how the internet worked just ended. The people who saw it coming is about to win. The people who keep waiting will lose.
If you haven't heard already, Google is completely changing how Google search will work in the future because it's going to start prioritizing AI conversations over providing you links to things that you actually searched for. I have a whole video on it. Go watch it if you haven't already. So what should you use instead of Google search? Here are three options for you. I personally am using the third one. Number one is DuckDuckGo. Their slogan says it all, the search engine that doesn't track you. They never track you and they never store your personal data. They do have AI features, but they can be completely disabled by turning them off in your settings. You even have the option of hiding all AI generated images when you do an image search, which is super awesome. It uses a combination of its own web crawler to get results and some information from Bing, so be aware of that it does use a Microsoft product for some stuff. And you can use DuckDuckGo on your PC and it's available on iOS and Android as well. Number two is Brave. Brave also doesn't collect any data and they use their own independent web index. They don't rely on Bing like DuckDuckGo does. It also has AI features you can completely disable, and it has its goggles feature, which lets you filter and customize search results based on your preferences. To use it on iOS and Android, you do have to download the actual Brave app and then use the search from that. That's my understanding. Please let me know if I'm wrong. And number three, and what I switched to, is Ecosia. Ecosia is actually a nonprofit that puts the environment first by using its finances to literally plant trees. Each month, they actually publish reports of their finances and show proof of their tree planting. They also run their servers on renewable energy. I believe it's solar energy if I'm not mistaken. They do use Bing for its search results, but they do put their own privacy protections on it and they are very privacy focused overall. They do have a mobile app you can download to use it on your phone as well. What search engine are you switching to? Let me know in the comments.
It's starting to sound like the search engine is going to get more and more replaced by like an AI engine. So the first thing we'll notice that it's turning into a longer prompt box instead of going to AI mode. So you're essentially going to be in AI mode by default. So if I do a search for something like best video games of 2026, you have your AI overview right here, but it takes up a relatively small amount of space on Google. I can click show more and sort of get directly into AI mode here. But without doing that, I have some organic rankings of people who actually wrote blog posts on the best video games of 2026 so far. These are websites that rely on people actually clicking on the link and going to their website to support their business. Now, if Google essentially scrapes the responses from all of these blog posts, puts them in an AI overview so that nobody ever ends up clicking into the blog post, that's going to mean a drastic reduction in traffic from Google to these websites.
We're entering the next chapter of Google Search, where AI features aren't just in search. Google Search is AI search. through and through. That's a direct quote from the head of search at Google, Liz Reed, announcing at Google I/O something I've been predicting would happen by the end of 2026. But it looks like it's coming a lot sooner. Traditional search is breathing its last breath. All search will be AI search. Let's talk about what this means for businesses and anyone who's doing SEO. If you weren't aware, Google's big annual conference, Google I/O, just happened. This was by far their biggest Google I/O to date. I'll have lots of other videos talking about Gemini 3.5 and WebMCP and LLMs.txt, but it was also the biggest change we've ever seen to Google search, and that's what we're talking about today. Google has switched to an intelligent search bar, which allows and encourages longer searches. It also allows you to include images and files with your searches. For SEO, this means we can expect longer search queries on average. Tracking specific keywords will make less and less sense, and we'll be getting less data about the specific searches people are entering in tools like the Google Search Console. But the more important changes for SEO are those changes happening to the search results. They announced a few specific cool features we should start seeing in search results. Gemini will now start creating actual apps inside the search results in response to your query. Google can create persistent dashboards that exist after you're done with the search. And Google can spin up long-running agents, so you can ask it to check on the status of something, and every day it'll give you a notification on your phone. And all that's really cool, but the thing that actually has an impact on how we do SEO is that all these results are being orchestrated by AI. Yes, we will still have blue links to websites in the search results, but the process Google uses to select which blue links show up now has an added AI layer on top of it. Instead of the human interacting directly with the search algorithm, the human is merely passing their prompt or query off to an AI. And it's the AI interacting with the algorithm. So the human never even sees the raw website rankings. Instead, it's an AI looking through those rankings, curating them, and deciding which ones to show to the human. And so traditional rank tracking breaks down. You have to be simulating the types of prompts and queries your users are entering and tracking the responses. So instead of identifying a static list of keywords you want to rank for and then making content for each keyword, the game has shifted to tracking which websites are actually being cited and influencing the AI response, and then figuring out how you can get your brand recommended in those types of pages, either by adding a recommendation for your brand to the pages that are already being cited, or by creating similar or better content to replace those pages that are being cited. The good news is, right now, most SEO agencies are still doing things the old way, and so there's not a lot of competition. Most of our clients are seeing quick results in the first 3 months. Now, all of these updates are still rolling out in Google. I don't know when the entire search results page will be replaced by an AI response, but according to Google, we're now entering that chapter.
At a time when journalism is under attack, Google is using AI to change news headlines. I'm not talking about AI summaries or Gemini chatbots. I mean, when you swipe your phone to Google's Discover News feed, you might find news stories where AI has replaced our headlines with something stupid, something misleading, even an outright lie. Google claimed the US government reversed its ban on foreign drones while linking to a story that reported the exact opposite. And now we've found Google's beginning to change headlines in Google search as well, replacing some of the 10 blue links with words we didn't write. My colleague Victoria wrote about how the so-called cheat on everything AI tool didn't help her cheat on anything. Google changed that to say cheat on everything AI tool. Changing the headline changes its meaning. It almost sounds like an endorsement. Google tells us it tweaks titles all the time, but I've edited tech news for 15 years and never seen Google pull anything like this. Newsrooms are already struggling to keep the lights on because Google's prioritizing AI over journalism. Many Americans already say they have a hard time telling the difference between fact and fiction. This makes our work look less trustworthy. Google says the goal here is better matching titles to users' queries and facilitating engagement with web content. More engagement sounds nice, but there's got to be a better way. To learn more, you can check out my stories on TheVerge.com.
So Google just seem to have decided that they don't want to be the world's most popular search engine anymore. They've now announced a groundbreaking transformation of the Google search bar that we all know and tolerate, basically turning it into another AI search function. They made a full, catchy, upbeat YouTube video trying to explain what this was and why this needed to happen, and I still didn't get it. I want to turn the Google search bar where you type something in and get ranked websites based on relevance or whatever, and they want to turn that into basically a chatbot. Google wants to force you to have a conversation with an AI chatbot in order to get any search results, essentially. Basically, these big tech firms are spending billions and billions of dollars on AI data centers and AI investments and AI tools that not only aren't seeing a return, but are things that people are actively hostile towards. Which they should be. Only do they have a product that can't make money, but they've also got a product that that everyone hates, which makes it even harder for it to make money, even though it already doesn't. What they're doing is forcing these AI features into things that people use every day so that people are forced to use them so that they can then go to the next board meeting and go, look, everyone's using our AI. Isn't that wonderful? Wasn't all that money we spent worthwhile? And in reality, the 1 billion monthly users using Google AI mode are probably people who clicked on it by accident. No, people are not using Google's AI summaries. They're just being forced on us so it looks like we're using them. This entire artificial intelligence industry is a scam. Google, one of the biggest companies in the world, is actively getting ready to destroy one of their most marketable pieces of branding in order to try and keep this scam going. Google is either going to promptly reverse this decision the moment the public backlash gets too severe, just like TikTok had to, or Google is going to watch helpless as huge chunks of their user base flock to other search engines. If this becomes a thing, the only thing I'm going to use it for is asking it how I can change the search engine on my phone. And I don't think I'll ever talk to it again. I think I speak for a lot of people when I say that absolutely nobody wants this. Just smug, arrogant tech bros who have spent too much money on AI and now need to make it look worthwhile at the next board meeting. How are you messing it up this badly? You guys are literally Google. Just my opinion, follow for more.
Say I'm a college student trying to wrap my mind around astrophysics. I can go to Search Now and just ask, how do black holes affect space-time? Check this out. I get this interactive visual right in the AI overview. Search Now gets for a concept this complex, I need to interact with it to really understand it. But this is still kind of 101. So I'm going to follow up and say, now show me how two orbiting objects, like binary black holes, create gravitational waves. Search dynamically builds a brand new interactive visual in real time, completely custom for my specific question. And now I can play with the parameters like orbital separation and mass ratio. It's so cool. I can see how wave patterns have changed, and now the smaller black hole spirals around the bigger one.
This new Google AI search thing has completely ruined my day, and I just want everyone to know. So I instinctively went to Google to search wildlife rescue, bird rehabilitation, that kind of thing. And it gave me the most stupid results. A lot of the numbers that they had up there were disconnected, not in use. They led me to a lot of wildlife rehabs that don't accept birds. It was really frustrating. I finally found one that did accept birds, and it's Carolina Waterfowl Rescue, and you should definitely go follow them. But I will be switching search engines. This is unacceptable. This is trash. And I am very, very, very annoyed.
Guys, people are leaving Google in massive numbers. Last week at Google I/O, Google's annual developer conference, the company announced the biggest overhaul to its search engine in 25 years. Traditional search results, the blue links you have clicked on your whole life, are being replaced by AI-generated summaries. And here's the key part. There's no way to opt out. Well, then the internet went immediately to DuckDuckGo. I didn't even know this thing existed. Well, apparently DuckDuckGo reported 33% week-over-week growth in iOS installs, peaking at almost 70% growth in May 25th, which was on Memorial Day weekend, when supposedly internet traffic slows down. Their AI-free search page specifically saw 27.7% weekly growth at its peak. So DuckDuckGo CEO said that Google is force-feeding AI with no way for anyone to opt out. A little context, DuckDuckGo currently holds about 2% of the US search market. Google holds around 90%. But DuckDuckGo strips your IP address and deletes chat history every 30 days. Google's entire business model is built on your data. And this is all happening while Google is under massive antitrust pressure from the US government. People are waking up to the fact that when a product is free, you are the product. And honestly, a lot of us are done with it.
I know I'm not the only person to experience this, but I truly believe that they are changing or diminishing search engines so that we are forced to use AI. And I had this thought like a couple of weeks ago, and my girlfriend brought it up a week ago, and she was like, yeah, I've been having a little bit of a hard time looking things up, and I feel like they're doing it on purpose. And I was like, same. So let me know if you've experienced that. The other day we were at this restaurant with some of our friends, and we were looking for like a dessert shop. We knew that there were dessert shops around us. And so I was like, well, let me just get like a comprehensive list of what all is really around us instead of us just like walking around in the heat. And I was like looking it up and looking up our exact location, putting in our zip code and everything. And it kept on giving me restaurants that were like a mile away, 2 miles away. I was like, what's going on? I ended up having to just like pull up an actual map and just like zooming in and stuff. But I was like, okay, this is very interesting. And then for Valentine's Day, I decided this year that I wanted to give my girlfriend something local, like a better truffles, something like that. And so I was looking up truffles, chocolates, small business, local business, looking up our zip code. I was doing everything that I could. And the search engines, no matter if I put it in Google, Yelp, Ecosia, like no matter what search engine I put it in, it just was not giving me good results. Like it kept on giving me Chili's, and it would recommend the chocolate lava cake. Like I'm not looking for things that just have chocolate in it. I'm looking for local chocolate shops, truffle shops, fudge shops, like literally anything. And it was just, it could not find anywhere closer to me. I ended up just driving around and asking people, like, not driving around and asking people, driving around one and two, asking for recommendations, and found this place that was like 2 miles up the street from us. Like I was about to drive an hour away to go get her chocolates because I truly thought maybe there is just really no shops around. And I feel like in the past, I was able to put the smallest of details into a search engine and immediately like find exactly what I was looking for. I used to be able to like put in a couple of odd words of a song and it would find the exact song that I was looking for. And now I feel like finding what I'm looking for, like I truly have to search through 10 different links or be as specific as I possibly can. And I feel like it wasn't always like that. Let me know what y'all think if you've experienced this. I think we're onto something.
Why can you no longer Google the word disregard? Last week, Google announced that they're making its biggest change in over 25 years. Google's search box will be replaced with an AI conversational engine, which instead of a list of links, which we've been used to for the past 25 years, we're going to see that replaced with AI overviews. Many people aren't happy with this because this is killing the notion of an open web. Additionally, AI can provide inaccurate responses and like pretty much not exactly what you're looking for. When you search for the word disregard, instead of getting a definition, you would get this AI generated response. This has since been patched, but still users are not receptive to the amount of AI that's being shoved into products that we use every single day. With this change, DuckDuckGo has seen an uptick of 30% of users because they allow you to filter out AI search results. AI is a very powerful technology, but it requires a certain finesse to harness it into an interface that's actually making it usable for users. With consumer sentiment of AI rapidly decreasing, we'll just have to wait and see if this was ultimately a good decision on their part.